What happens when you try to make Grausten feel like home? Grausten is a challenging material to work with. On its own, it's cold, clean, and heavy. But when you pair it with the right materials, Grausten can be cozy. Hi, I'm Klaus, and welcome to the Herbalist Cottage. It's common to see Grausten used to build statement structures, such as cathedrals, castles, or towers. The material leans naturally into that gothic style. Clean lines, sharp arches, everything framed in a dramatic way. Visually, it's a cold material, which doesn't exactly lend itself to something warm and cozy, like a storybook cottage. Cottages come in all shapes and sizes, but I knew I wanted to keep the silhouette simple. The only particulars were to have a forward-facing roof, framed by 2 chimneys with a row of dormers. The floor plan is easy enough. Kitchen, dining, and living space on the main floor, bedroom and balcony upstairs. When I'm working with a new material, I like to start small. If I can get the doorway and windows right, while keeping things simple, then I know I can move on to the walls and roof. The key to making Grausten feel cozy is to soften it. Pair it with materials that bring warmth back in. Ashwood, marble, and stone are great for this. Regular wood tends to be a bit too bright, which contrasts a little too much. This doorway is a great example. Grausten is the main focus, but it's used to frame the ashwood door, while being supported by the rougher stone beneath. Here's the main structure, using just Grausten. Aside from the roof, it feels pretty flat, like all the character's been stripped away. Let's change up the materials and see how that affects the look. Starting with the chimneys, we'll swap in some marble. The black pairs nicely with the red shingles, while the brick pattern breaks up the flat face of the Grausten. I tried using small pillars to line the space around the windows, but the flat color doesn't create enough definition. Instead, let's swap those out for ashwood poles. The darker wood helps frame the windows a lot better, while also tying into the marble chimneys. Let's take that a step further and replace the pillars within the windows too, then try adding some shutters. I first tried out this set of Grausten shutters, and they look fine, but they blended into the wall a little too much. To help separate them, I added a strip of ashwood above the windows. This definitely helped, but the shutters still weren't working for me. Regular wood shutters clashed with the ashwood and felt too thin. So in the end, I used ashwood wall pieces to create shutters instead. Now the doorway, windows, and trim all feel connected. The facade had softened quite a bit by this point, and was even starting to feel a little modern. But there's a problem. The more warmth we add, the more the Grausten starts to disappear. The solution? Dormers. Using small Grausten pillars keeps the scale in check, and the angled pieces create a wonderful Gothic arch. Now the Grausten is back in focus, but it's softened just enough by the ashwood and marble. We can take what we've used on the front and apply that around the whole structure. Stone for the foundation, ashwood for trim and layering, and Grausten for everything else. You can see I've carried the same material palette inside. Grausten still frames most of the structure, but the ashwood and marble soften it enough to keep the space feeling warm. Left untouched, the interior actually feels a little too clean, almost modern, which works in some places, but not for an herbalist cottage. The back room is where most of the crafting and potion mixing happens, so I left the stone floors exposed. It helps the space feel a little rougher and more practical, like it's meant to get messy. Once the structure was finished, the goal became making the cottage feel lived in. Pots, crates, flowers, drying herbs, little layers of clutter that soften the architecture the same way the ashwood soften the interior. By stacking item stands and carefully placing flowers, you can create these simple potted plants. I also put together a few shipping crates filled with potions and ingredients. Small details like this help reinforce the idea that someone actually works here. I scattered the pots and crates around the cottage, strung up some of the new hanging strands, and tried to make the whole place feel comfortably cluttered. Upstairs, I kept things a little tidier. The bedroom is smaller, quieter, and more open than the rooms below it. I added a fireplace, storage, and an open closet, while reusing the same pillar design from downstairs to tie everything together. Even inside, the goal stayed the same. Soften the Grausten just enough to make it feel like home. I think what surprised me most about this project is just how little it took to change the feeling of the material. Grausten still gives the cottage its structure and identity, but with the right balance, it no longer feels cold or imposing. Instead, it feels lived in, comfortable, like home. By the way, this cottage is now at home on the Builder's Realm World file, which is available on my Patreon. These amazing folks are already a part of that community, and there are a few announcements coming up soon, so stay tuned. We've already seen just how well Grausten works with ashwood and marble, but what about marble, stone, and fire? Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.